This is Rita Macneil. She was born in Cape Breton, Nova Scotia on May 28, 1944. In 1971, at the age of 27, Rita started singing publicly for the first time in her career at folk venues such as the Riverboat. Rita won a number of Junos throughout her career. In 1986, she won Most Promising Female Vocalist of the Year. In 1990, she won Female Vocalist of the Year, and in 1991, she won Country Female Vocalist of the Year. In 1990 to 1991, Rita won the CCMA for Top Selling Album. Rita's earlier compositions are often described as easily relatable with a warm sound. This may be due part to the fact that her own upbringing was not very warm, but rather crude, with alcoholic parents and a sexually abusive uncle. Her own longing for stability and warmth and family values may be what influenced her music. Rita had her first child when she was 17 years old, and because of the environment at home, she decided to move to Toronto and get a job at the Eaton department store in order to support her child. This taught her resilience and initiative, and the strength she developed through this time in her life can be heard in her music. In 1971, Rita joined the women's movement and started attending meetings held by the Toronto Women's Caucus, which, from 1970 to 1972, was the largest and most influential women's liberation group in Toronto. This proved as a huge inspiration for Rita, as she then went on to record songs such as Born a Woman. As a teen, Rita listened to Celtic, country, folk, rhythm and blues, and rock genres on the radio, and these styles can be heard in her early compositions when she started her career. Some of Rita's most notable compositions include Flying on Your Own, Working Man, I'll Accept the Rose, Reasons to Believe, and Fast Train to Tokyo. Additionally, Rita also released Home I'll Be in 1993. As stated before, Rita listened to Celtic, folk, country, rhythm and blues, and rock genres growing up. However, through extensive research, her influence cannot be traced to individual artists. However, most articles agree that her love for her family and friends are what propelled her to make her music with such melodic and smooth tones. For Rita, music was a way for her to make connections and feel closer to those she loved, as well as her audience. A second source of inspiration for Rita was from her mother. While situations at home were sometimes complicated, her mother always wanted her to perform through witnessing her love for singing. This song has an expressive style with an upbeat yet slow melody and long durations of notes. There's lots of harmony and combination with choir singers later on, while Rita is singing higher soprano notes. The song is inspired by the coal miners in Cape Breton, where Rita is from. You can hear the emotion as she sings, and how strongly she sustains her notes, as well as how expressive her articulation is in each note.
Constant reminder of what used to be.
In comparison to the first song, Reasons to Believe has more of an uplifting style with louder percussion interjections to add excitement to the piece. The crescendos are more dramatic and sustained over a longer period of time, which creates more and more of a build-up into the chorus and climax of this song. You can also hear Rita sing more variations of high and low notes to add more excitement and movement to this piece. The style of this song is different from Reasons to Believe, as it moves more between high and low notes. As well, it can also be more relatable to audiences who are not necessarily from Cape Breton and familiar with that style of life. Another difference between this song and Working Man is that Rita didn't use a choir to harmonize with her own voice. At the beginning of this piece, we can hear a number of different instruments. We can also tell that in comparison to the first two pieces, the tempo is a lot faster. There is also more of a visible pulse in this piece than there was in the first two. A probable reason for the change in style is because this song is released in 1993, which is well after the time Rita broke into the pop culture industry.
I couldn't wait to pick up the phone to tell you what it's really like to move in the dark inside of the light, and I believe we're all part of the temple.
Fast Train to Tokyo has a very different melody from the first two songs, as this song is much faster and the duration and dynamics of notes are much faster as well. In this song, Rita is not singing as high notes anymore, and we can hear that she is moving from her roots in the country genre into a pop culture genre. In conclusion, the effect that Working Man and Reasons to Believe, which were songs that were released near the beginning and middle of her career, have an effect on a listener that makes it feel relatable and uplifting. In comparison, songs such as Fast Train to Tokyo, which are released after her breakthrough in the pop industry, have more of an upbeat pace and are more similar to songs you would listen to on the radio today. This has a different effect on the listener, as instead of relating and feeling welcome to Rita's own ideals, you're allowed to make your own memories through listening to these songs in your everyday life.
You were never more alone. Once there was two, now there's just you. You're flying on your own. You were never more happy, girl. You were never